Alright, and we are off. So jumping into the prologue here, quick rundown on some basic controls before we start our ascent up this mountain. Madeline is able to dash, grab, and climb, and jump. Very simplistic controls, but you can mix and match everything to do some pretty dope tech, as you'll see showcased in the first chapter here. And that chapter will be coming up here very shortly here. Also, you might have seen that DSgamer93 started off a little ahead of time. There's something that is important to note for the Celeste Any Tournament. All times are based on the in-game timer, which you'll see down in the cassette tapes for each runner down there. So we'll try to see if we can get a sync if need be, but for the most part, that's what you're going to want to look at here. And you can just kind of check by going into screens. So like DS Gamers are at 54. So, I mean, so far it's about even. But let's jump right in and talk about City. For City, like I said, it showcases a lot of the tech that you're going to see. Wall bounces, hyper dashes, maybe a few ultras or two, we'll see. We have those zippers, which help Madeline propel. And I mean, the basic objective is you want to try to just always be moving. Momentum is such a huge aspect of this game. And both runners handling very well. Mr. Ike having a little bit of trouble here. Maybe it's tournament nerves. I'm not 100% sure. I have seen him do a few races before, and they're doing well. But I think with the fact that both runners are 3 and 2, and this is a make-or-break game for either of them, maybe nerves are going to be a huge factor here. We'll see. As DSgamer93 is heading into the final 2 screens of Chapter 1, Mr. Ike is not that far behind. Let's go into that final stretch here. Alright, looks like we have a... Oh, my... Okay. DSGamer opting to take the long route, which actually was going to give Mr. Ike an opportunity to cut into his lead. It looks like there's about a 5 or 6 second difference here. Wow, we just got... Okay, I see y'all. Let me see what DSgamer is popping into Chapter 2 with. We had 2:14 on Mr. Ike's screen for the end of Chapter 1. DSgamer, yeah, so it's about like a 4 second difference right now. So hold on to your butts, guys. This is about to get really bumpy as we dive into Chapter 2. So, Chapter 2. You got these dream blocks here. You're going to see a nice little exploit that we use, as you see there on DSgamer's screen. Basically, we line up our X coordinate to be inside the dream block after skipping the cutscene. And by doing so, we can save just a little bit of time, not a whole lot. So now, it seems like the nerves have passed over to DSgamer, maybe just a little bit. We're seeing not necessarily deaths or anything, but just a few mistakes here. And Holy Toledo, they're on the same screen, but again, in-game timer is the key here. So Mr. Ike is actually ahead by just a few seconds. So we're going to go into the battle line chase here. Basically, battle line is going to mimic every move that Madeline does on a 3-second delay. So runners are going to have to be wary of the routes that they take. And as they progress further through the chase, more and more battle-ins will be coming out to try to stop her. We got 3. Oh, DSgamer taking a death there. I think he jumped when he didn't want to, slammed into a wall there. Mr. Ike now pulling ahead on the final screen of the battle and chase. Just one more and he's out. Now DSgamer taking part on that too. Oh no, hitting the spikes there. I do think I honestly think nerves are coming into play. I don't know if the runners are watching the race or they're paying attention to, like, you know, on speed racing TV, like where everybody's at. But I'm just seeing unique approaches coming from both, and I'm not sure if it's just like I've done commentary on both runners before, so I'm seeing like things that I didn't see the first time that they were running. So I definitely think nerves are playing a key factor here and just being the pressure. I would suggest, like, because they're allowed to take a break, a quote-unquote break. Let me rephrase that. Like a 90-second, you know, in between chapters or whatever. Since it is in-game time, I really think that if someone is to just kind of like, you know, get their bearings, regain their composure, and just kind of like really take that time, it's going to make a huge difference. We'll see if DSgamers doesn't actually go for it. He's not. He's going to opt to jump right in as Mr. Ike is beginning his ascent in Resort. This is where we're going to see either mini lead changes or we're going to see an extension in the lead. This is that one chapter where it's just like, there's so much that can happen that it's just possible that a lead change can occur. We're going to switch back over to Mr. Ike since he is a few screens ahead of DS Gamer here. 1 second. All right. So I will be more than happy to talk about Resort because it's my favorite chapter in the game. I've said this many times during the tournament, but we got these dust bunnies here. They're basically just, you know, another obstacle in Madeline's path to ascend the mountain. Contact with them results in a death. And then we just have a whole bunch of other things like these pressure platforms and just overall really well level designed. This is where, like, the first two chapters, they kind of get you warmed up to get ready for the game. And then now chapter 3 is like, all right, we're going to start throwing a little more, you know, haymakers your way, a couple more curveballs, and we're going to see how you're going to handle it. Such as this room right here, huge mess. It's just a gigantic maze of clutter. Mr. Ike moving that very nicely. And he's going to begin this process of cleaning this up so we can get that key in that room. Nice ultra there. DS Gamer getting prepared to get into his huge mess. Now this is what I'm talking about. A couple deaths on Mr. Ike's screen. Like that. And that will give DS Gamer the opportunity to catch up. This is why I'm saying Chapter 3 is one of the most important ones to practice. And really get down, because leads can change here so quickly. And I've seen people in races be like maybe a minute or two behind, actually make up time because of Chapter 3. So, so Mr. Ike having a little bit of trouble there as DS Gamer gets on his journey through a huge mess. Also taking a death there, trying to get to that lock switch, gets it. All right, let's see if DS Gamer can handle this room. He does it very nicely. Gonna get that spike jump. Oh no, not getting it set up. Deciding to. Oh no, that is really unfortunate. So on DS Gamer's screen, he was trying to go for the spike jump. He gets it there, but was opting to not continue to try it. Was going to take the intended route, but unfortunately slammed into one of those dust bunnies. He's going to lose a little bit of time there. But Mr. Ike making his way through. Ooh, skipping the cycle there. Nicely done. Getting through the laundry portion, he is out of huge mess. Getting ready to go into the elevator shaft portion of the chapter. Now this is where things start picking up too. We got screen's going to be a little longer. There's a little more like narrower paths to navigate through. And a couple tricky sequences, just like this second sequence, or the sequence coming up in the next screen on Mr. Ike's screen. We have to hit these lock switches and rely on our dash crystals to make it through. He handles it like it is no problem. Alright, and now DSgamer93 heading into his final portion of huge mess. We're going to see how he handles this here. Let's see if he can get that cycle skip. That'd be huge. Mr. Ike with some beautiful wall bounces there. Making his way to get to the last key in the chapter, where we utilize our retry exploit. As you see right there, nicely done again. Wow. She is in the home stretch, as DS Gamer is not going to get that little skip there, but oh no. Diving headfirst into a dust bunny, taking a death, unfortunately. Gets it the second time, and he is out of huge mess, as Mr. Ike heads into Mr. Oshiro. So Mr. Oshiro, I think he's the owner. For some reason I want to say concierge, because it sounds fancy. But he's been trying to have Madeline stay at this hotel this whole chapter. Ooh, close call. And basically, she's like, "Nah, I gotta get out of here." And Oshiro's like, "But you must stay." And so he kind of gets angry. That's definitely a verbatim on the story side of things, but you know, I don't like spoiling stuff for people, so I'm gonna give you my rendition. Oh no, Mr. Ike missing a dash crystal there. So the way Oshiro works is he's gonna line up where Madeline is at. You're gonna see a lightning attack happen, and he is going to come at you crazy. So Mr. Ike taking a few deaths here. One of the things about this too, which I failed to mention, which actually now it's very important, is this chapter has cycles. There we go. I can get my words right. Cycles play a huge role in this chapter, and as you see, there's the entry cycle and the death cycle, and they are ever so slightly different, to the point that sometimes runners will choose to re-enter one of the rooms if they take a death. But during the Oshiro fight, you actually don't have that option. So what Mr. Ike was doing was he was basically kind of waiting to get the cycle to reset to what he's used to. But he gets out of there, sub 10, very nice. As DS Gamer now heading into his Oshiro portion. But now Mr. Ike did take a few deaths, so this is an opportunity for DS Gamer to save a little bit of time. And again, we are still early in this run. We have a lot to go. And anything can happen as we run into Mirror Temple, Reflection, and Summit, of course. So, we'll see how this pans out here. But Mr. Ike, going through Golden Ridge, we've gone from my favorite chapter to my least favorite chapter. We've got this wind mechanic, and these clouds and some green bubbles that act like a dash, but that's not the real reason. Like, the wind is very bothersome. It can be. The real reason why I don't like this chapter is that nearly every single room has somewhat of a skip or a shortcut or a way to like really save just a small little bit of time. But seeing how many rooms there are in each chapter, you actually have a lot of opportunity to save time. And at the same time, as we're kind of seeing with Mr. Ike here, with a few of these deaths, you have an opportunity to lose a lot of time too. So we're going to get to our auto-scroller skip, and he nails it, doing a nice little bunny hop there. But again, see, now this is what I was like, that's exactly what I was talking about. Not having his dash, forcing a retry there, you do save a little bit of time. And there's some other tricky spots like that too, where you just don't have a lot of room to extend your dash, which is essential to get through most of the stuff. Like right there, if you don't do that right in this room too, see if he's gonna nail it. You have to work with that one. Oh, see, he got it the first time, but then didn't get it the second time. And like, these are the situations where things add up. You see Mr. Ike having a little bit of trouble here, but he gets it right there. And that's like one of the big things I think has been a make or break in a few runs. You see runners that are still trying to go for, like, they'll continue to try to go for those skips or whatnot. And sometimes you just have to make that hard decision where it's like, okay, I'll just go the intended route. I'd rather go the intended route and, you know, have it take 4 seconds longer than to die again and then having to start over losing, you know, 6 or 7 depending on the situation. Now, Mr. Ike now getting his bearings together, having some very clean rooms here. As he gets ready to get into the final portion here, we're going to see a nice wall bounce. Oh, beautiful. We're going to see another one. We sure did. Excellent job. As he moves into the final portion here, the wind has gone haywire and it is on full blast. And it's not in Madeline's favor by any means. And then we also have these wonderful yet nerve-wracking snowballs right on cue. So these guys are similar to Oshiro. They'll go in a straight line, but sometimes he or she, because, you know, snowball, actually, no, I don't even know where I'm going with that. They're not even people. There we go. The snowballs, they will not give you an audio cue or any other cue to appear. So as you get closer to the edge of the screen, like right there, oh my gosh, it's harder to react to them And sometimes it works in your favor, sometimes it doesn't. Oh my gosh, Mr. Ike is just running into a few execution errors here. But DS Gamer is still a few screens behind. As Mr. Ike is going to finish. He's going to finish right at about 4 minutes here. Coming in at, I think, a low 14. Oh, excuse me. Sub 14. My bad. 13:49. This DS Gamer is a few screens before the home stretch here. As Mr. Ike heads into the Mirror Temple. Oh my gosh. No. Come on, DS Gamer. Having a little trouble in this vertical section before the home stretch on Chapter 4. Opting to slow down. I respect the play. One more. There we go. He's out. Alright, so Mr. Ike is in Mirror Temple. We've got these beautiful red bubbles that will propel Madeline, similar to the green ones in Chapter 4. So these ones will keep going until Madeline either slams into an object or dashes out of them. We also got our keys. We're going to see Mr. Ike is going to go for a pretty awesome boost here. It looks like he's going to go for it. Let's see if he gets the full meal deal. Almost. He got 75% off, we'll call it that. So that skip in particular, if you get a corner boost, you can skip this entire that entire following screen. It's very exciting. He's moving along very well, making good pace here as we head into the most stressful rooms in the game, in my opinion, in the A-sides at least. Mainly for this, I seen so many runners get hesitant there and also taking a death there, and that results in a huge time loss. Mr. Ike handles it like he has been on this rodeo before. As he heads into our Seeker tutorial portion. DS Gamer, one dash away to clearing Chapter 4, and he nails it. Coming in at about 16 minutes. So now we're starting to see the, the lead slowly expanding outwards. Again, it's not over. DS Gamer can have, like, all it takes is a very clean chapter, and you can jump right back into this. As Mr. Ike is moving through the Seeker portion here. We're going to run into our little homeboys in just a moment. As DS Gamer begins his descent into the Mirror Temple. Alright, so our Seeker buddies are here. These guys are on one mission, and that is to eat Madeline, or whatever they just want to do. But destroy her is for the most part. They're going to beeline at her. They kind of will alter their path ever so slightly. You can manipulate them, as Mr. Ike is doing here, as they will open up those lock switches. So players will use that to their advantage to save a little bit of time, but also, most notably in this room, a lot of improvisation can occur because those red blocks those Seekers can destroy. And sometimes you just get put in a spot where, like, the route you want to go, you can't really do because they're like, you needed this block to stand on? Well, I ate it. So, I hope you enjoy that. Alright, Mr. Ike going into search skip. We're going to see if he's going to nail this. As expected, he does. As DS Gamer is getting into his Seeker portion. Actually, DS Gamer actually has a really good time going into this, hitting this cutscene. So he might have saved some time. I apologize for not, like, checking it, like, popping back and forth between the two screens. But we got Mr. Ike getting close to Theo here at about the 17. I'm gonna say 1750. No, 1745 maybe ish. And I'm bad at telling time. He got there at 1741. As DS Gamer now 18 minutes going into the Seeker portion. So our boy Theo, let's talk about this guy real quick. he's trapped in a crystal. He got caught up. And it's our job to get him out of this temple. We cannot dash while holding him. Because, I mean, who dashes with their hands above their heads? It's kind of weird, right? So, runners are going to be constantly throwing and dashing and catching him. It's like oh, rip Theo. He didn't do nothing wrong. But, it's like playing catch by yourself. That's actually, that's literally what it is. You're literally throwing it, and you're literally going after it, and you are literally catching it on your own. Wow, just coming to a dead halt on that, speed brick there. I just lost the name of that. Also, you lost Theo there, too. He's gonna get there, get his composure, and keep going. DSgamer almost out of... Oh. Almost out of the secret rooms. He's got one more to go. Is Mr. Ike taking a few deaths there? But he's on the last room. As you see, this Seeker is like... He's one of the craziest of the bunch, even though they don't have different attributes. But it just seems that way. I think it's because there's more open space. Alright, so Mr. Ike going through the home stretch here. He is going to move on to Reflection. Just like that, at a 1924. Nicely done. Sub 20 going into Chapter 6. As where my personal best is, that's impressive for me. So, but DSgamer93 getting that search skip. He's getting ready to go in that last part. I feel like DSgamer saved some time here and cut into Mr. Ike's lead. So we'll see how Mr. Ike's reflection goes. Again, any death on Mr. Ike's screen is going to give DSgamer the opportunity to come back. Oh no, but DSgamer bonking on his Seeker before he breaks the brick here. Gets it right the second time. And Mr. Ike opting to not go for Lake Skip. I respect the play. I'm not sure how confident he is in that, but I've seen Lake Skip cause leads to change during the tournament. As a matter of fact, my race against Black Parrot, that's what happened. He went for Lake Skip, and it took him a while to get it. But I was able to catch up and make that race a lot closer than what it was. Alright, so Mr. Ike getting ready to go through the quote-unquote maze portion of Chapter 6. You basically get two routes to go. You can either go top or bottom. And most of the runners will choose to go... I am super blanking out. I am so sorry. They choose to go the top route. There you go. I had to see it in action so I can remember. So that old age does to you. For the most part, it's going to be top route. There's one or two rooms where we'll go take the bottom route, but you know. The heel's moving through as DSgamer is heading into his final room. I'm hearing that death of Mr. Ike. So DSgamer taking the nice approach here. That Seeker is nowhere. Wow, he shook the living daylights out of that Seeker. That guy didn't even appear in the game for like but 2 seconds. Alright, Mr. Ike moving through. Oh, getting ahead of himself there. But making it as DSgamer wraps up at a 22:08 in Chapter 5. As he gets ready for his reflection. Oh. Going for the extended boost that you get off of these bumpers, but not hitting the last one on the right. He gets it there. And he's out of the room. That one is a little difficult because with the bumpers, you know, they bounce you in basically 8 directions, right? It's possible that you think you'll be in the right spot, but then they'll just be like, I'm going to just shift a little bit to the left. And instead of hitting it so you go straight across, you get slammed into some spikes. It can be very frustrating. But Mr. Ike heading into the ravine portion here. Now this is going to be a good one too. We got these 3 intended developer shortcuts. The first 2 are easy to line up. The third one not so much. And a death here. Hey, no commentary curse on that one. A death there results you going all the way back to the top and losing a lot of time. Now there is a checkpoint and some runners opt to do that as a safety strat. Really, it only adds about 1 or 2 seconds. But in comparison, like falling to your death and having to start all the way back at the top, it makes a huge difference. Mr. Ike going for battle line boost, and he's gonna get it as he heads into his battle line fight. Let me see some hey-uhs in the chat as we get ready to take battle line head on. As DS Gamer now going into some different rooms here in the maze portion. That always catches me off guard because I don't remember what they are, let alone if I've even been in there. But you know what? He's going with what's comfortable for him, and it is paying off. He is zooming through this section here nicely as he's getting ready to find Battle-In and take her down. So I will take this moment to talk about the Battle-In fight. In a nutshell, she got these orbs and these lasers, and she's trying to just stop you from climbing this mountain. She's just like, listen, you can't. And Madeline is like, listen, I am going to do this whether you want me to or not. So we're going to work this out. And then Madeline's like, oh, no, I'm not about to do that. So I'm going to stop you any which way I can by throwing these blocks at you, shooting these lasers, shooting these orbs at you. So it's basically, it's just conflict with a very, very fantastic song. And the goal is to just run into Madeline and chase her down. She keeps trying to break out by breaking these walls down. But, you know, we have the will to make it happen. And Mr. Ike handling it very well. Oh, as I say that, one of the more difficult rooms in the portion of the run, for Chapter 6, that is. But he makes it fine work of it after a nice recovery. And now DS Gamer, missing the bubble there. He is almost to Ravine. I think he's like 3 screens out. But running into some trouble here in this long room with these bumpers. Alright, and with that being said, Mr. Ike is now getting ready for the second part of the Battle-In fight. Pretty much, she got angry. She is like, nope, I'm going to pull all the stops out. She's popped X Factor. She's activated V-Trigger for all you Street Fighter fans, and she's ready to put an end to this. So now the blocks that she was slamming into the ground actually are platforms that we have to utilize to navigate through. A nice recovery there for Mr. Ike. Not getting the jump that he wanted. Oh, but saying what's up to those spikes head on. And those ones as well. Speaking of spikes, DS Gamer also running into them. But Mr. Ike making it out. He is 2 screens away before he levels up. Not including this one. DS Gamer taking the water a little more slower, and he gets out. We're going to see if he's going to go for his battle line boost or not. Woo! Mr. Ike, whoa! Last minute there, I saw. I thought you were going to just fall straight down. Nice reactions. That could have easily been a death. Oh, missing his... Oh my gosh. Tried to do a hyper, but ended up getting a missed input there. That is very unfortunate. Especially at that point, because it takes a little bit of time to get there. Oh no. That's not good either. We're going to see how he's going to handle this. Ooh, okay, he got through there. Oh my gosh. Another death there would have been traumatic, to say the least. But he's out. He's leveled up. As DS Gamer is moving through his Battle-In fight right now. Ooh, excuse me. So Mr. Ike now has leveled up and is getting another dash. Running into a little bit of hiccups here, but getting his bearings back up and getting ready to head into Summit at a nice low 27. Now, I'm going to take this opportunity to check the PBs of both runners. which I should have did before. I apologize. DS Gamer, based on speedrun.com, he's sitting at a 39.28. Mr. Ike, I think, is on here. I think I've tried to look him up before, and I had a problem finding his time. So please bear with me. I found it. Oh, very interesting. So Mr. Ike actually is a 47.32. So I'm not sure if that's 100% accurate, because if that is the case, he is on excellent pace right now for a new PB. Unless my phone is playing tricks on me. But it doesn't look like it. So we're going to see what happens. If anybody in chat is aware of Mr. Ike's PB, if you can pop that in, it would be greatly appreciated. But he's moving pretty good. Oh. Nice wall bounces there. DS Gamer getting prepared for the second portion of the battle and fight. Okay, thank you, Less Than Perfect. That makes you curious. Was that a tactic? Was that a keep the timer high on speedrun.com in case people are looking them up? I mean, that might have worked early on. I don't know about now though. But I believe Mr. Ike could be on pace for another PB here. We'll see how things handle. As DS Gamer is getting ready to finish up his battle and fight. Just a few more screens here. See if he can get this bumper. And he does. Alright, one screen to go. Mr. Ike has some trouble here. Let's see how DS Gamer handles this. So far, so good. One more troublesome part. And he's out. Woo! Kind of closer. And he nails it. Nicely done. Mr. Ike now in the 1,000 decimal portion. Missing his lock switch there a few times, but able to get his composure back and nail it. We're going to see if he's going to do some no hypers out of dream blocks, which is okay. Basically, with the dream blocks, it was discovered a while ago that you can hyper dash as soon as you exit them, allowing for a nice little boost. You can't really do much with it in Chapter 2 because you lose your dash, and a lot of times you need to dash out of the block. Or, like, you need to, when you dash out of it, you actually need to do something. You need to save your dash for something else. That's what I'm going for. But, since we have 2 in Chapter 7, we can utilize it to do a little more time saves here and there. Alright, now DS Gamer is in Summit. Just 1,000 meter difference between the two. Again, any mishaps in these chapters, and DS Gamer can bring it back. 1,500 is definitely one of the more unforgiving sections in Summit. Starting with this room here, and then we have our lovely Ultra room as well. But Mr. Ike moving along very well. As DS Gamer gets through his first part. Oh. Being cautious here. Mr. Ike's out. Nice. Oh, DS Gamer running into that spike there, unfortunately. Gonna have to start that room over as Mr. Ike is wrapping up his 1,500. He's got to deal these dust bunnies one more time. See you later, bye. He out. Nice. Nicely done. Very clean 1,500 on his end. And now DS Gamer moving into 500. As Mr. Ike is slowly edging away at 2,000. There's about a 1,500 meter difference between both runners. But again, anything can happen. Our snowballs are going to make a return, and they're out for blood. So that could be the deal breaker. Oh, does he miss his green orb there? And they are not. As we move into our first of 2 auto-scrollers. Opting to go with the auto-scroller skip. He gets the first part. And he gets the wall bounce. Nice, didn't save it some time there. Is DS Gamer now moving to the end of 500 here? Oh no, Mr. Ike running out of stamina and having to take a retry. Oh no, messing it up again. So he's going for a wall bounce to basically speed up this process and not have to ride the wall scroll or the auto scroller all the way up, which he gets there nicely done on the third try there. Then a high fly through this wind area, and we're gonna see some more beautiful wall bounces here. I don't need you auto scroller blocks. I'm Madeline. I do what I want. Look at that. As he gets to the battle and alley-oop section, that's what I like to call it. A brief rundown, even though most of you are probably aware. In these last rooms, Battlein is like, hey, come find me. And when you do, she's just like, alley-oop? And getting a good wind up there to send you basically to the next portion of the summit. Alright, so DS Gamer now in 1500. As we move into 2500 for Mr. Ike's screen. A lot of cool movement stuff that happens here. I'm going to see if he's going to get this one. Oh, almost. She's going to re-enter the room so you can get that dash. Nicely done. Woo! It's so clean. We're going to see our... Yep, first try every time. But yeah, so there's just a lot of cool ways to like fly through some of those rooms in particular. Oh, getting ahead of himself there on his buttons. CS Gamer getting through the second long room of 1500. He's gonna get his chapstick so he doesn't get those dry lips when he hits that wind section in due time. Oh, Mr. Ike slamming face first into some spikes as we go into the infamous, notorious door skip. We've got a door. And we've got a skip, folks. Look at that. So home stretch before he gets to the wonderful 3000 mark. DS Gamer now on the 2000. Oh no, Mr. Ike losing his dashes. Unable to continue and having to restart there. We're running into a little bit of trouble here. It's definitely going to give DS Gamer a little bit of time to catch up. But it's going to be it's going to take a lot. We're going to see like a very incredible, super clean run here on out from DS Gamer, and or a few bumps in the road from Mr. Ike to get a lead change as we head into 3000. So basically, this is a I'll say 4 or 5 long screens that have check marks represented by these flags. So in chat, if you can see them, feel free to type it out as we make our final ascent here. We're going to have an interesting downdraft here, where basically the wind is constantly pushing into Madeline, reducing the height of her jump. But dashes go through that with no problem. So you're going to see runners utilizing a lot of vertical dashes and wall bounces to fight their way through these gusts. As Mr. Ike running into a little bit of a hiccup there. I'm curious if he's trying something new, or if that was something that he's just like tournament nerves again. I mean, we are in the home stretch, and there's a lot on the line for these two. Both of them are at 3-2, so more than likely the winner of this is going to advance into the bracket portion of the game. So as long as Mr. Ike can keep it together, it looks like he will be taking this home. But again, I'm seeing tournament nerves. That's what I'm going to call it right there. Just I think he's just really trying to get to the end. He probably doesn't know where DS Gamer is. Based on PBs, they're 2 minutes apart. Anything can happen. DS Gamer getting his key skip here, as Mr. Ike is now going into the updraft section. So this part, complete opposite. Instead of the wind holding you down, it actually is going to lift you up. You're going to get some nice boosting. And to accommodate that for the level, they actually have a lot of horizontal areas that you have to navigate through. A lot of narrow passageways and jumps that would not be possible without this mechanic. DS Gamer opting to not go for door skip, I respect that play. And to be quite frank with you guys, Mr. Ike is taking a lot of deaths right now in this portion of the summit. The more that he does, and especially if DS Gamer can get a clean downdraft section, something we could get there. I don't know. It's not over yet. All right, as DS Gamer begins his ascent here. I see that, chat. I mean, off the bat, DS Gamer's summit portion was definitely a lot cleaner than Mr. Ike's, and definitely a lot faster. But I think it might be too little, too late. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, he's zooming. Also, 3000 is the best showcase on how, like, even though there's no RNG and the routes are generally the same and optimizing and everything, for 3000, everybody has a different approach on how to handle each of these sections. I have not yet to see a runner, like, two runners basically do almost near perfect same approaches. Most notably in the downdraft section. I mean, when you get to the final part where Mr. Ike is at, it's pretty, what's it called? It's like a pretty given route. Alright, so Mr. Ike getting very close here. He's going to get a sub 39, it looks like. As DS Gamer heads into his updraft portion. There you go, folks. We have our winner, Mr. Ike, coming in at a 38.46. Excellent work there, sir. Throw some GGs in the chat for an excellent race from both runners. See if we can get Mr. Ike and DS Gamer in here.
Hello? Am I here?
Mr. Ike, you are here. How's it going, man? Congratulations on your victory.
Well, yeah, it was a win. But that run is not good. Like, my PB is 2 minutes better than that. It was totally riddled with mistakes I've never made before, misdirects in random places that just cost me a lot of time.
Now, I did notice those misdirects. I will ask out front, because I know going into this, you both were 3-2, and to me, it seems like this was a make or break to make it into the bracket. Do you feel that pressure might have gotten to you in a few places?
I think in the beginning, yeah, because that was possibly the worst Forsaken City I've ever done in my life. Like, that was awful. But then once I got to Chapter 2 and 3, those were fine. Well, there were a couple parts of 3 that weren't very good. But after Chapter 3, it was more of an anger management exercise than a run, in my opinion. But, it happens.
No, I definitely noticed. There's a few dashes into some questionable spikes that I seen in Temple and I think in Summit as well. We also have DS Gamer here. How is it going, man? How did you feel about your run today?
What a train wreck! Oh my goodness, I do not know what was going on with me, really. Like, especially at the end of Summit, I did so many mistakes, and my brain just kind of froze or something. I have no idea what happened, but it was still fun nonetheless. I was laughing manically. Oh my goodness. But yeah, how did your run go, Ike?
Mine, after Chapter 3, was not good. I think I lost about 30 or so seconds on every split after that, or something like that. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, let's see what happened to mine. Let's see. Yeah, basically Chapter 3, as always. Everything done after Chapter 3.
Yeah, Chapter 3 was my one good split. I was actually ahead after Chapter 3 because my PB had a really bad one. But after that, it's no. No.
Okay. Dang. Whew. It was still me messing up the times. Whatever. Okay. Sorry about that.
Oh no, it's okay. So I believe now do you guys have one more race, or did you guys have somebody drop?
I have 2 in front of me, which are tomorrow.
Yeah,
hopefully I didn't mess up the times this time. Okay, so
yeah, I have one more race. It's against Diamond Crafter A. And that's tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern, I think. So that's cool.
I might even end up commentating that one too. We'll have to wait and see.
Nice.
So I'm looking over the standings in your guys' group. At least I see that Less Than Perfect right now is 4-1. I don't know who he's ran against or not, but it's looking pretty close. This is going to come down to the wire. So I wish best of luck to both of you guys as you finish strong in the group play. And if you do make it into brackets, of course, best of luck to you there as well. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Do you guys have any shout outs or anything that you'd like to say before we close out here?
I'm good. But thanks for the offer, though.
Nothing really to say except, actually, now I really wish that I won the match against Relvoy, the 4th seed in my group, because then there'd be a 3-way tie with 1 win, assuming I win against Diamond Crafter A. Assuming that happens, there'd be a 3-way tie between me, Birdo Prey, and Less Than Perfect, all with 1 win. And that would be really cool. Like, a tiebreaker match for that, I think would happen.
Oh, that would be awesome. I think that there is one in Renewus the Beard's group. I think there's a three-way tie for first. I think all of them went 6-1. So a three-way race to determine the seats for that would be very exciting. To definitely tune into it.
Definitely.
All right, well, cool. Well, again, to everybody out in chat land, be sure to follow these runners. They put on a fantastic show, and if they interact as well as they do here on the mic, I'm pretty sure they'll interact with chat just as well. Also, give me a follow too. You know, I like doing commentary and stuff like that. But we're gonna wrap this one up. We got more Celeste action going on all weekend, so be sure to check out all the other speed gaming channels. And we'll see you guys next time. You guys have a great day.
See ya.
See ya.